Hi, welcome to Dr. Hollis Weight Loss Solace. I want to give you a little more update on my attendance at that Western area symposium on addictive disorders. One thing I forgot to mention, which is quite important, I don't know if you realize it, but a lot of people who have the bariatric surgery end up becoming alcoholic. And you know, I lecture at the Betty Ford Center, and we're seeing a lot more people come in for alcoholism after their bariatric surgery, after they get the stomach stapling. And most of our thoughts in the past had been that this is because the person just transferred obsessions, that they had an obsession, addictive personality, and they just transferred to another substance. The most recent research, however, is kind of disproving that and saying that actually, after the bypass surgery, the person metabolizes alcohol differently than normal people, and actually metabolizes alcohol in a similar fashion to an alcoholic, and therefore has physically become an alcoholic. So in terms of, you know, our treatment of both the physical addiction, the psychological obsession, and the spiritual loneliness, it's on a physical level that the person has changed, not just at an obsessional level. So this creates a lot more food for thought and research that will be happening in the future. Also, my colleague, Dr. Alan Berger, was presenting at this conference, and many of you may remember that Alan and I worked together way back in early 1970s, and we were the pioneers in treating total families for alcoholism. And Alan and I would meet at my house on a Saturday morning with all the families. We did multiple family groups, and then we had a lunch break, and we swam in the pool and we played together, and then we had more family therapy that afternoon. It was fabulous. I was newly out of graduate school, and Alan was my intern at the time, and we didn't really know what we were doing, but we were doing great work. Then I went out one day and I came back and I said, I found this book, Principles of Gestalt Family Therapy by Walter Kempler, MD. And I came into group that Saturday and I said, Alan, I have found this book and this guy is explaining what we're doing. And it was fabulous. So then we began studying with Dr. Kempler for many years and learning even more about Gestalt family therapy. When it came time for me to present a paper at the International Congress on Alcohol and Drug Dependence in Bangkok, Thailand, I have a copy of it if you'd like to see it. I was talking about treating the family system for alcoholism. And I said, what should we call these family members? What kind of name would we use for not the chemically dependent, but their family member? And Alan and I came up at the same time saying, let's call them the co-dependent. And so we did, and now you know that's just common usage in the field. But way back, no one had said that